Issues with cruise control adjustment, failed power steering system, occasional power loss, unable to be towed, poor build quality, prematurely worn out battery, autopilot failure, shuts down while driving, loss of power, unexpected stopping, battery failures. These were all first generation problems of the Tesla. Like the first generation of Tesla that ever came out, these were all common problems. And this is Tesla we're talking about. And Dodge is going to go all electric for the first time ever in history. What problems do you think that they're going to have with the Dodge Charger all electric? First generation. Do you really want to buy a first generation all electric Dodge Charger? Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video for you guys. So you can tell I'm in the car. That makes it a car blog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out, right? So let's talk about it. First generation all electric Dodge Charger, right around the corner. Coming out in about, what, a year and a half, 2 years at this point? Not even two, a year and change at this point, right? And it's coming from Dodge. This is going to be their first all-electric anything. They've done hybrid system. They've done the e-hybrid system. But this is going to be their first ever all-electric car. Muscle car, whatever you want to call it. My question to you is, do you trust it? Do you trust 60, 70, 80, 100,000, however much these cars are going to cost in a first generation all-electric Dodge Charger? And the reason I say that is because let's go back to the Hellcat, right? The Hellcat had all sorts of issues when it first came out in 2015. I mean, the number two or the big three was electrical failure. This has been popping up in forums since the Hellcat came out. I mean, let's see, red eye versions reporting battery suddenly dying without a warning, all sorts of flickering with the Uconnect system. They were talking about, let's see here, defective oil cooler lines. Basically, these lines would just snap and just break wide open and leak because of all of the pressure that was being put on the engine. Hellcat bearings, remember that? Supercharger bearings? There was a lot of issues with that in 2015. A lot of recalls for the supercharger bearings. In 2015, it was one of those things where it's not that you're not going to, it's when it happens, basically. Like the Hellcat bearings issue, supercharger bearing issues was a big deal in 2015. I remember that. There was another YouTuber, I think it's oh man, I know it wasn't RP Production because I know RP Productions doesn't have a supercharger. He never drove a Hellcat, not at that time. But he was having bearings issues with his 6.4, I believe. SRT Mush, I'm not sure if he's still making videos, but when he had his Hellcat, he was having supercharger bearing issues. And I'm basically saying this to say, like, Dodge is good for, you know, gas-powered engines. They've always been known for that. Not necessarily the best reliability when it comes to that, but at this point, the Hellcat, the 6.4, the 5.7, they're pretty much bulletproof. I mean, you know, they've been making these engines for the last, I mean, you know, at least in our generation, they've been making these engines for the last 10 plus years. So at this point, they should know exactly how to build these cars, how to refine them, and how to make them work perfectly. The transmission, the whole nine. But this is going to be their first generation of electric automobiles. We're talking about Dodge here, Fiat Chrysler, Stellantis, if you want to go that far, right? We're talking about the same company that was building those terrible, what do they call, Intrepids back in the day. Dodge Intrepids, those things, right? You take them off the lot and then 5,000 miles later, they're back on the lot, right? Do you trust the first generation of the electric motor that Dodge is going to be putting in these cars? Now, there's a huge difference between Tesla and Dodge because Tesla's whole entire platform is built off of electric motors, right? It's not like they're offering e-hybrid systems. It's not like they're offering some gas-powered engines and then the other portion is electric. Everything they do is electric. So it's one of those things where they have to perfect the electric motor. They have to because their entire business model is built on the electric motor. Dodge, on the other hand, they kind of have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're going to give you the inline 6 Hurricane engines that we've heard about all the way up to a certain point. And then on top of that, that's where they're going to give you the electric motors. And it's not even like they're giving you 200-300 horsepower electric motors to get you from A to B, like Tesla. Like when Tesla first dropped, and I think it was the Y series or something like that, they were basically giving you cars that would get you from A to B. A good charge, reliable, comfy, whatever to get you from A to B. Dodge expects to be able to, right out the gate, first generation, give you 700, 800, and 1,000 horsepower electric cars because they're trying to keep up with the Hellcat name or the Hellcat brand, or at least the precedent that the Hellcat left when we got rid of it, right? If the Hellcat was putting down 850, obviously the electric motor has got to pick up from there and give you more. So you're going to put 1,000 horsepower under the hood of a car that's never been tried, true, and tested by Dodge prior to. And you're the one that's going to be putting $60,000, $70,000 plus into a first generation Dodge Charger. Now, for bragging rights, that's going to be dope. I mean, for you to be the first one to have the electric car when that thing drops, like I know, I mean, that's going to be dope. I mean, it'll be like basically having a Hellcat in 2015. When everybody came out, and whoever had a Hellcat in 2015, even an SRT 392, like that was bragging rights immediately. Those were not, I mean, nobody had seen a 700 horsepower American muscle car in 2015. You know what I'm saying? And the same allure and respect and all that stuff that Hellcat owners got in 2015, electric muscle car, electric Chargers owners will have in 2024. Right? 1,000 horsepower electric muscle car. I'm just going to call it an electric muscle car because that's what Dodge is calling it. 1,000 horsepower electric muscle car in 2024. That's going to be crazy. You're going to be smoking everything. But it's one of those things where, can you trust it though? Like me personally, I like to kind of wait a generation, maybe just one generation, maybe 1 year. So in 24, they drop it. Maybe go and get your electric in 25. That way they can iron out all the bugs. Because the last thing you want is go out and spend all that money on a car and then have it at the dealership all the time. And the thing about what Dodge is going to be doing with this electric car, unlike any Hellcat or Hemi engine or a Pentastar engine, unlike any Hellcat engine or Pentastar engine or Hemi engine in general, you're not going to be able to just take it up to, Jose and Hose B. You're not going to be able to take it to NTB. You're not going to be able to just take it to Jiffy Lube. You got to take it back to Dodge because there's technology under the hood of those cars that, Jiffy Lube and NTB and Jose and Hose B are just not familiar with. And that's how Dodge is going to make a lot of their money because they know that you got to bring that car to them. Like a Tesla. You would never see a Tesla at a Jiffy Lube. I've never seen a Tesla jacked up in a Jiffy Lube, getting work done. It just don't happen that way. When Teslas break down, they have to be towed to a Tesla dealership. They're not towed to a Chevy dealership or Ford or Dodge or Lincoln or Cadillac or Mercedes. They have to be towed to a Tesla dealership specifically. So that's one of those things where you better get ready and make sure that you got that extended warranty because you're going to need it. I mean, if you decide to get you a first gen electric Charger muscle car, I can only imagine like the wear that those cars are going to go through. I mean, after about 60, 70,000 miles, it's like, it's risky, After that initial warranty is up, that's wild. Like, your shit breaks down in a city, in a state that you're not familiar with. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to have that thing towed all the way back home, all the way back to your home dealership or dealership that services those type of cars in that particular city or state that you're in. It's just one of them things. Like, I understand that a lot of people, some people will jump out the window and go and get these cars, but just be mindful that this is literally Dodge's first attempt at an all-electric muscle car. Not to mention what we saw was a concept car. So that thing could be completely different, or it could look, exactly how we saw it. It could be 2 doors, could be 4 doors. I'm simply saying that what I know about Dodge and all of the damn recall emails and notifications that I get from the Uconnect app for Dodge Chargers, Challengers, 300s, Chrysler Pacificas, all the recalls that I've seen these cars have, even to this day, I know for a fact that the first generation Charger, all electric, is going to have issues like crazy. And unfortunately, you're going to be the one that has to pay for that. You're going to be the one at the dealership every other day, every other week, every other month. You're the one that's going to be sacrificing. And then you're going to sit back and say, well, damn, what's the point of being on the bleeding edge of technology if the damn technology doesn't work? Nobody's talking about that. I mean, this is Dodge's literally their first attempt at an all-electric anything, right? I mean, they own different, brands or whatever. They got Ram, they got Dodge, they got Chrysler. They got all of these different, kind of subsets you know, of Stellantis or whatever. And none of them have ever came out with an all-electric anything. E-hybrid, sure. I think they got the e-hybrid Ram 5.7. But on a mass scale, all-electric first generation, I personally don't trust it. You know what I'm saying? I remember, like I said, with 2015, when the Hellcat dropped, a lot of Hellcat owners were having issues with their cars. Everything from electrical failure, you know, oil line failure, or oil cooler line failure, supercharger bearings, because this was literally Dodge's first attempt at putting all that power under the hood of a car. And after 30, 40, 50, 60,000 miles, and it's been worn in good, and now you're beating on it like you would a Scat or a Cat, now you're really beating on it. Come on now. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be an expensive problem too, especially if you no longer have warranty on it. So, I mean, it's just one of them things like, do you trust a first generation all electric car from Dodge? We're not talking about Tesla. We're not talking about Lucid, right? We're talking Dodge. And not only that, but it's going to be a performance, Jesus. It's going to be a performance electric car from Dodge. It'd be one thing if they were just giving you an electric Dodge Dart, you know, 200-300 horsepower to get you from A to B. Electric Dodge Hornet, 288 horsepower to get you from A to B, you and the family. But no, they're giving you that. And they're also giving you an 1,000 horsepower all electric muscle car. So it's not enough that it's an electric platform, but all of the parts have to be reinforced to handle that of a performance car. And I'm assuming it's going to be all-wheel drive. So now Dodge is testing out that power in an all-wheel drive platform, which they've never done. I take that back. They did it with the Trackhawk. But that's a Trackhawk. This is an electric car. And then they're adding in all of these fake-ass, you know, conveniences and things to make people feel like, you know, an electric car is kind of a muscle car. The fake exhaust, which is basically speakers, Bose speakers. You know, can you imagine going to an exhaust shop and you trying to get your electric car to be louder, and they come out with some big ass JBL speakers and they're like, all right, you good. And it's like, damn, that's how it is. That's the future, man. No more exhaust pipes. No more cold air intakes. No more mid-muffler deletes. Cold air intakes. Why did I say that? No more mid-muffler deletes. You know what I'm saying? No more resonator deletes. All you're going to see from now on is people coming out with just big-ass speakers, like bigger speakers. They're going to have some kickers under the hood of your car. And that's going to be giving you that rev sound. But nah, for real, man. First generation all-electric Charger, do you trust it? I know some of you guys are looking forward to it coming out. Some of you guys are going to go ahead and get on it. My question is, do you trust it coming from Dodge? I'm not talking about Tesla. I'm not talking about Lucid. Do you trust a $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 car putting down 800 plus horsepower, first generation from Dodge? That's my question to you. Talk to you boys. Always like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.